not really a cupcake, but I am super baked, thanks to Mood Canada.
Mood is third-party tested, so you know it's safe.
And it ships legally and discreetly to your door, so you can say hi to your neighbors without any shame.
Oh, hi, Callie.
Everybody who's there has so far respected that. And the one thing is that I don't use my real... So Jim Browning isn't the real name.
Sure,
Everybody kind of knows that. But what I will say is I got, Ryan Montgomery, Zero Day. I got him to take a photograph of me and say, can you work out who I really am from this photo? Because he has quite a lot of resources at his hands. And he has been able to do that for other people. But he had one of my photographs. This isn't a challenge, by the way, to anybody on the internet.
Don't try to replicate
So
this.
please don't do this. But he took my photograph, couldn't get my name or details from it.
Good.
Now, I shared a bit more information he was able to piece together, but I think even if there was a photograph published, I probably would be all right.
probably
But
good.
again, not a challenge, please, to anyone.
Yes. Well, how does it feel to be like one of the most famous hackers in the world?
But I'm not even a hacker, that's the thing. I wouldn't call myself that at all. I just say YouTuber. I kind of don't go into that title. Because if you say hacker, there's a whole lot of baggage comes with that. That's true. You think like that is someone who's doing something illegal. Yeah, okay, slightly according to the law, maybe some things. But I am far more of a social engineer than anything else. I get scammers to do things that they would never normally do, and that's really where it comes from. I would call myself a social engineer, not a hacker.
We have spent so many years talking to you, working together, and having a few beers. Once a man, I'm not gonna tell you. But we don't know anything where you came from. Obviously, you're not gonna tell where you came from. But stay within reason. Yeah.
Your childhood
And
hobbies.
what got you into this?
Yeah, what got you into it? Can we talk about these?
Because you got into it before it was cool.
Right.
You were a YouTube hacker before it was cool.
I mean, I still think it's such a niche to be in scam baiting community.
Yep.
But when we got in 2016, it was
Yep.
negative 69 niche. It was so far away.
Yeah, there weren't many people doing what we do nowadays, and what got me into it is, and I really wish I had the proper Batman type story, that somehow the Joker kind of they stole money from me, or whatever
Avenging
it
your
is.
parents, or
I wish it was like that. I really do. And the sad truth is, I had a different day job in IT, and I kept getting the scam phone calls. And it just annoyed me one day, and I just picked up the phone and I just made a clear recording of the scam, and that was it. And I was technical enough to get the guy's IP address, and I thought, I'll show this video to his internet service provider, and the best way of sending a large video file wasn't by putting it on email, because it wouldn't fit. So I just said, right, I'll upload it to YouTube, which I didn't have an account on. So I uploaded a file to YouTube because it was too big, picked the first name that I could think of, a random name, and
Speaking of which, Jim Browning scams.
yeah.
did you have a friend named Jim?
No,
or did you
no,
just,
it's just like,
totally random.
Totally random, and that's all it was. So my name is now kind of a brand, and I wish I'd thought of something more clever.
You can go back in time and rename it. What would you name it?
No, but there's other people who have picked the name Scam Baiter, and it tells you exactly what it's about.
Yeah.
And if I'd gone back now, I'd have probably picked that name, but as it is, this name is now stuck with me, and everybody keeps saying, "Oh, where's Jim Brown from?" And I'm going, don't know, nothing to do with
But you built such a legacy around that name that right now, if your name will be Scam Baiter or anything that's scam related, it will be like it would be not you,
Yeah.
The name of your channel and magnitude of
And it rings in scammers' nightmares.
That's the nice. I don't know who it was that was, a scammer's worst nightmare is to look under his bed and hope that Jim Browning isn't underneath it when he goes to bed.
He'd rather be the boogeyman.
Yeah. So, in some ways, yes, that's nice. And whenever I have to go on to a bank and say, look, one of your customers is getting scammed, and occasionally I'll use I am Jim Browning, and they'll go, "Oh, I know who you are. I've seen your videos," and you're going, "That's bizarre. That's like, you know, somebody recognizing your voice," and you're going, "How on earth do they know about this?" But yeah, I guess I'm still surprised that there are people who are into scam baiting. But your channel, others similar to it, it is definitely an area where people are interested.
Jim,
So you put that video up on YouTube just to send it to the internet service provider. Was it public? Did it go viral, or what made you do video 2 and 3 and 4 and then get into like infiltrating CCTV? Like, how did that happen?
I wouldn't say it went viral at all. In fact, the first few were very it's got a few hundred views, maybe a few thousand views, but that was still more than I expected it to get. I was expecting 3 views.
Is it still there? Is that still your first video?
I'm pretty sure.
By smartsportguys.com.
Yeah, no, it predates that, so I think it probably is gone at this stage. So, no, the very first video isn't there. In fact, I think I removed it because it actually had personal details in there somewhere. I think that might have been it. So, no, but the very first few, clear recording of a scam, and it went no further. But as time went on, and I noticed people watching these more and more, I thought, okay, maybe I should delve into this a little bit further. It's not just, obviously the first ones I reported, exactly nothing happened. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to get discouraged by this because people are still interested in the subject. So I thought I'll try things a little bit differently next time around. And there was one video where I think it was TeamViewer banned connections from India. So what happened was that the guy from India got me to connect to his computer, and then he said switch sides with partner. And as you know, like he's actually just let me on his PC, and he wants me to switch sides so that he can get back to mine. But no, I'll do what you scammers do, and I locked him out of his keyboard and mouse, and then I started downloading all his files, and I thought, this is fantastic.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
So that was the very first one where I thought, here's something a little bit different because I can see what he's doing.
Right.
But the one that really made it take off was CCTV.
Right.
Okay, so there was one particular group called Fairmark Travels, and I'll still remember this because it was on the 1st of May 2019, because I've still got the kind of timestamps embedded in my brain at this stage. And Fairmark, as you can imagine with a name like that, they had like a pseudo company where they were a travel agency, but their main business was pretending to be Microsoft. They did the pop-up scams, and they got most of the revenue from that. But I was able to land on a supervisor computer, and I could see the supervisor occasionally firing up CCTV to see who was outside the office doors. And I thought, oh, this is fantastic. If I can probably just do what he's doing, get into that system, it would make for a really interesting video. Wow. And I had the foresight, I think, to also contact the BBC about it, because I thought there's nothing quite like this on the internet at the minute. And my YouTube channel, I mean, it was big enough. I suppose it was probably over 100k at that point, maybe
400,000.
Even, yeah. And I thought
100k, he said.
100k,
Oh, 100K.
but it you know, and that was kind of trickling along. This was going for maybe 6-7 years to get 100k, not a whole lot. But as soon as I published that video, then it really shot up from that point, you know, and it went to 1 million within 6 months.
And that was 2019.
That was 2019. I think the video was actually published in 2020. The footage was captured in 2019.
It's crazy because if I think back to our mindset in 2017, just starting this, I feel like you were already massive.
Right.
Like,
That's
my
exactly what-
memory
yeah.
is you, and
Okay.
maybe it's just from perspective at the time, but to us at that point, you were already like a household scam baiter name. Like,
Well,
I guess I didn't realize that it didn't really, for you, take off until like the pandemic time.
It's a bit of a niche
Yeah.
area, yeah, but that really was the one that really made it shoot up. So yeah.
But when you go back on your channel, the first upload, it's stating 11 years ago.
Yes, that's right. 11 years ago. So yeah.
But that would have been 2014. So
2014.
gosh.
That's where like the first videos, that's the first time when you start discovering, trying.
Yeah, but I mean, all it was, if you look at the very earliest videos that I put on, it is purely just engaging and deliberately engaging. So it wasn't even winding up the scammer. It was literally to say, this is what happens if one of these guys contacts you, and you play it out from end to end. But you don't do what you guys do, which is like, you know, take the opportunity to make them feel pretty bad about themselves, you know. So I wasn't doing any of that. So, you know, so and that's why everybody's video is different. Whenever it comes to scam baiting, you know, you're sitting there with the air horn, you know, and everybody will remember that one.
Yeah, maybe a little more sophomoric when we started with ours, but you know, we had fun. That's I guess all that matters. But 1,517. You know what that is? Not how many times you've annoyed me today.
I just about to say, is this something that
it's a smaller number than that. It's how many requests have been sent on my behalf via Incogni, the sponsor of Trilogy Media, this podcast, all of our content. You need to get Incogni.
I personally have 328 in the last 4 weeks. There is no such a thing as invisibility. Especially whatever you do online, your footprints, they can detect exactly what you've been doing, whatever you've been going.
I love what Jim said, actually. He said that he talked to Zero Day, and he's had Zero Day take a picture of him and see if Zero Day could identify him just from that, because of his online footprint. And he said he was in good shape, which is a good thing. You should be looking out for your most basic form of privacy, which is your information. Incogni